Hello, my name is Sherry. Today I'm going to be talking with my team about the reports that we did,
I am Ashley.
Hey, I'm Augie.
and we're going to go ahead and let Ashley go first.
Okay, hi everyone. The article that I chose for the Unit 3 reading is the 2020 Horizon Report Trends. I chose this article for three initial reasons. One, because it was published just a year ago. It's still dealing with higher education, and the article's name was different than the other ones. Usually it's like my last one was 2019 higher education. This one is just about the 2020 higher education trends. Um, the article relates back to the ISTE standards that we're studying for this unit. The first one being the empowered professional, the learner, and the digital age learning environment standards for coaches. This article discusses the technology practices that is meant to improve student learning and achievement that will prepare them for the next level in their journey, professional-wise, that is, via the digital learning environments and curricula, and educators continually learning to improve their practice to provide better learning experiences for the students. I loved that this article is very transparent. I don't know if y'all noticed, like in the other Horizon reports, a lot of the trends that they predicted, a lot of them didn't really scale into the education world. And in this article, they realized that, so they made a couple of revisions to the methods, to the structure, and to the content within it. Now, instead of just predicting trends and giving additional readings and everything, this one is now giving evidence to support them trends. So I really like that about it. And it wasn't no unnecessary fluff. So that's it for me.
All right. Thank you, Ashley. On my end, I did the NMC outlook for the Chinese education. I remember one of our classmates did this while I was reviewing other people's videos from last week. So I wanted to bring something new that wasn't already talked about.
That's funny because I actually did the exact same article.
Oh, wow. Hey.
Great
Well,
mind.
Great minds
hopefully
think alike. Hopefully, we get a better perspective on it.
right, a different perspective. Okay, so many things stood out to me. I actually did enjoy this. I thought I wouldn't, but I did. Well, it talks a lot about open education and the proliferation of that, and which merges into the massive open online course. So the Chinese education, they are going into this cross-institutional sharing of data, resources, content, whereby students can access from any coursework from any institution, just having access to other beyond their own institution, which I thought was a brilliant idea because we're such in a global world and there's so much you can learn from another educator versus the one that is in your current schools. I noticed some advantage and disadvantage of this way, and I'll start with the advantages, the good side first. So there's opportunities for local organizations to partner with these open programs and courses to actually put courses that would help learners get a heads up into what the real life experience is in working with that institution. That way they're having real practical knowledge, sort of like an apprenticeship internship, but in a way with learning whereby, for example, if they want to go into plumbing, for example, they're doing more practical learning in that and more coursework that is directly related to what they want to do. Another thing I thought was also an advantage was that Chinese students can experience learning from, like I mentioned earlier, from different countries. For example, having educators from a country that they wouldn't necessarily have traveled to. So it's almost like studying abroad, but doing it locally. So that's good. Some cons to this would be engaging learners. It's online. So those who don't really prefer online learning would have problems going through that route, and it might lead to attrition. In my last survey, I asked my audience what do they prefer, online versus face to face, and it was split. So just as many people that prefer online also prefer face. Different people also prefer face to face. So we can't really say that that's everyone's preferred way. And so when you bring that sort of thing to the table, you should put in mind to knowing that those who are not friendly with that will not be as engaged. Also, the authenticity of the knowledge that's being shared. This is a platform that anybody can post their lectures or their coursework. How do we make sure that it's up to par and it's quality for the learners that are going to use that platform? So these are some things that we need to tie into. I also went into the website of the MOOC. That's a massive open online course. And I was playing around with some things. And I noticed that there's a variety of courses from music to medicine to literature to science to engineering, like a plethora of whatever you want to do. And so I thought that was really nice that I could find things there. And I also looked into the courses and the fees for it. For example, the I'm learning Spanish. So I looked into the basic Spanish course and it's for 4 months, 3 times a week, and it was about $126, which I don't know. I don't know if that is bad, right? Because that's a start. But there's also free courses like the TOEFL and the IELTS. These, if you don't know, these are courses that English learners take to check their English skills, writing, reading, listening, and speaking, which is free. So I thought, yeah, they know the kinds of courses that should be free and the ones that students, learners can pay for. Right. Back to you, Shay.
Okay, so that's actually interesting because of the things you focused on. You focused like on the pros and cons, and I just kind of spoke about what their goals were, mostly because um, the Chinese culture, I always feel they have been advanced in everything. They
Mm-hmm.
get things done faster, and then the world kind of trickles and they modify
Mm-hmm.
what they did. So I focused on the key trends that they wanted that they were kind of predicting was going to grow. This article was from 2017. So they
Mm-hmm.
expected, and they were talking about what they expected to see over like the next 2 or 3 years. I think it went as far as
Mm-hmm.
5. So I focused on that, and they were saying that they expected to see like an increase of blended learning designs.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted face to face and online, and I actually spoke about this article on my podcast, and I was talking about how I really do think they have to be successful by this. I didn't really do the research, but I'm pretty sure they are successful because of COVID. It's not like COVID was just in America. So then they also expected like the increase of the open educational resources, which you were talking about,
Mm-hmm.
and that they're basically resources of that are shared throughout and everyone can use their expertise to increase student success. So I thought that was pretty awesome. They
Yeah,
also expected a rise of STEAM learning. I know another person was talking about this in one of their videos, and how the A was incorporated to include the arts, you
that
know?
was me.
Yes. And
I know,
then
but I like talking about the same thing.
I think Sarah was talking about it too, how she thinks we
Yeah,
yes, I was listening.
someone else. Yeah,
And then they wanted to increase like curiosity and creative thinking. And then in my blog I was talking about my podcast, I'm sorry. I was talking about how I think this is a problem or this became an issue of incorporating the A because I was reading another article. I'm sorry, I can't recall which one, but it was talking about how there's so many people with degrees now. Every college was pushed so much that now we don't have hands-on workers. Everyone's trying to get some office job, and now we don't have carpenters. We don't have enough. These people who are creative, who have their own skills. It's like that was pushed down. Like, no, you don't want to be a construction worker. No, you don't want to be a truck driver. But now, guess what? We don't have enough of those. So they wanted to see an increase on the other. careers. Then they spoke about their goals for the next 2 or 3 years and how they wanted to redesign learning spaces. And while I was
Mhm.
reading this, I was kind of thinking about Tamika's presentation about the libraries, how they're redesigning spaces. And I'm thinking if this is an idea that got carried over from the Chinese culture, like they started this in 2017, and maybe we saw it too, and we're like, this is something we should do as well.
Yeah.
And they wanted to have like a more organic learning environment to where students were transitioning from one environment to another one in a natural like method. It wasn't all about school focus on school. They wanted something where they were getting prepared to resemble like real work and social environments. uh,
Yeah.
I know that in the Chinese culture, sometimes they have school all year long, and
Mhm.
they go like on trips and things like that to get them to think, but it's very structured. So I think that was the thing that they're trying to change because, your real life is not like that. You're going to have to interact with other people. You're going to have to do um, activities. And then their
Good.
long-term goals, they just wanted to like advance the cultures of coding, and they wanted to switch to like critical thinking and problem solving. And they spoke about the flipped classrooms, the marker spaces, and then the massive open online courses that you spoke about. Did you see that it was like you said it was a lot of things, right, on that website?
It's mooc.org if anyone wants to check it out. There's a plethora of courses. Everything you can think of is there.
So
And
then
I'm happy.
so then I think they were successful from what you're saying. From 2017, did you notice that there was like up they were recent, like the classes and stuff?
Yes, but I also noticed in the article that they had started off with 1,000 courses in 2017 and wanted to proceed to 3,000 by 2020. And we're in 2021 and they have 2,999.
Wow, so
So
then
they're on
yeah.
goal, they're on target. Yeah.
Okay, well then that's pretty good. So that's what I was wondering, like, and I think it's kind of cool that you did your own research because I was trying to figure out like how if they reach their goals or not, and I tried to look into it, but I guess, you just did a better job at that than me, and you answered my question, so that's awesome. And I wanted to read this article myself too because I was hearing some people talk about it, and I was like, this sounds interesting. I want to take a look
Yeah.
at it for myself. Um, so, Ashley, I know that the article you read, you said you wanted it to be something different. Did you notice anything that was like similar to the article that we both read, apparently?
Really, all of the Horizon reports that I have read so far, they all correlate, I guess. They all correlate with the goals, with
Hmm.
the the bigger picture, you
Right.
know. A lot of them, especially what you were just talking about, how they want to have more classes as far for getting ready students more so for the work world, like with the carpenters or
Hmm.
my article touched on the future of work and skills. And basically, it's just about the higher education institutions providing more courses that align with the evolving workforce. Granted, it's still adding technology and everything in it, but you know how we just have some of those courses that we just call meaningless, like
Mm,
electives,
Just
like,
filling up your credit load kind of courses.
yeah, they're trying to take that, not trying to take it away, but they're trying to have the class that's more fulfilling.
like make it mean something.
Yeah, so you're not just in there. What does this have to do with work? What does it have to do with what I'm trying to be? I'm trying to be an engineer. Well, they're trying to give you more hands-on curriculum.
I remember I talked about someone posted that in their discussion. Was it you that posted about how the classes how they can be a little bit meaningless and stuff? Um,
Yes.
I remember I was taking my graduate no was I don't know some classes, and it was for my bachelor's, and I was in class, and I think it was like organic chemistry, right? And I was like, why am I taking organic chemistry to be a teacher? Like, I'm
Right.
not playing first day of school. We're going to be learning organic chemistry because apparently I need this to teach elementary students.
That
Really?
Yes, I had to take that
Wow.
class and I had to take trigonometry, and I was like, "What in the world is going on with this degree? We're gonna have to learn this. We're gonna have to teach this first day of school because apparently I need it." So I just think they need to like maybe give teachers like a class where you're actually teaching and not leave it to like the very end of your degree, and then you realize you want to make a run for it, but it's too late because you're about to graduate and spend thousands of dollars. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, ladies, this was an amazing conversation, and thank you all for being so involved. I hope to work with you guys again, and I will see you next time. Bye.
thank
Right. Bye.